All right, we were doing equity. We did issuing preferred stock. We did issuing common stock, right, guys, with additional paid-in capital. We did trade-free stock last time, right? Okay, and we did basic cash dividends. What we're going to do is some fancier versions of dividends now, where we have preferred stock and common stock. Okay, we'll do that today. This is an easy chapter. Not bad points. I'm going to show you one thing that's not in the book because, you know, I have to do that. If the chapter's easy, I have to give you something that makes it a little more fun, right? This one's too easy. You agree, right? You like the additional challenge? Yeah. Say yes. It'll be good. When you go to work and somebody gives you an additional challenge, oh, yeah, that's fun, right? You know, I wanted to work another couple hours. Yeah, good. Anyway, and the other thing that we didn't do was stock split, right? Yeah. Because we were too slow last time. Okay, so this time I only wasted 5 minutes. The other class was 10. We should be fine. Okay, anyway, so here we go. Let's do stock splits. Let's say we have authorized. I thought it went away. We thought if we had it working, it's not going to do it.
Wait, is there a review session today at 3?
Oh, yeah, there's a review session at 3. How many of you might come? Oh, good. You might have a large group, or 4 or 5 in the other class, too. That'd be great. And we'll record it for those of you who can't be here, obviously. So, all right. What else is on this? The other chapter was...
It was just the stocks, what they didn't do.
Bonds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bonds. Remember bonds? Yeah, don't forget about bonds. So you might want to watch the review, right, or be here for the review. And we'll do a bond problem, and then we'll do some of this stuff, too, whatever you guys want to work on. Somebody want to bring, if you have an extra copy of the quiz, that would be good, because I failed to print one out. My computer's at home, so I can call it up on Moodle is the only way I can get it here. So, anybody have an extra one? Have you printed one for yourself yet? The quiz? You know, the quiz from summer 2013. What's that? I can print it. Yeah, thank you. Good, cool. All right, that'd be great. And we'll work through that, huh? Let me do something. Okay, good. Let's do a stock split. If I talk, it goes away. I'm going to keep writing. I don't know why it would do that. Let's try this again.
When you click the thickness, it changes to, like, it changes your ink to not being selected.
Oh, maybe I'm supposed to click the, well, I don't know why that would be, but maybe I do this first, then go to this, and go the reverse direction. What's that?
Your color's still not selected. Like your ink color. No,
Go to the right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What we did before was we got...
Yeah, you push that button.
Now that's there, but that's not. We did it before and it worked. What happened? There's something going on with these settings. I do not understand. I always click this, then this, and this, and this, and it writes, and this also writes. No, it's that. Try again. Which one was it again? The blue thing?
No, over one to the left.
This, real quick.
Over one to the drive. No.
Flicks. It says off. At least we're recording. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Then I can watch it to remember.
Is it 10 off? No.
Single tap, double click, double tap.
I don't remember that.
Oh, come on.
Much? Maybe? No, he wasn't on that either.
He was in flicks.
Yeah.
Now everything is use flicks to perform common actions. Practice using flicks. How about practice just letting me work on something?
What was that button you had to press on the pad thing?
Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Now that button's lit. Oh, see?
Yeah.
And then there's the red one. Okay, we're doing red today. That'll be great. Isn't that lovely? Let's see if this works. Hey, it did. All right. That's what it was. You guys remember, buttons that go along the top, right? What color would you like? Green, blue, red? Blue. Right. Ta-da. It's going to be big font too because we don't know how to get rid of it. All right, so here we go. Finally. Now I've wasted 10 minutes in this class too. Authorized. You know what that means, right? Articles of incorporation, authorized. Let's say it's 1 million shares. Got it? Issued. You know what that means, right? They've issued to shareholders. 400,000. How many are unissued? 600. That just means we're holding them, right, guys? That's not in an account or anything. The issued ones are in the account, right? Must be 600. Then let's say we have treasury stock. We bought back our stock, right? And we did that last time. How much? I don't know. We've got 20,000 of them bought back. Got it? So how many are outstanding? We had 400,000 issued and we bought back 20. How many are out there? 380,000. Everybody good? Okay. And then let's say our par or stated value mean the same thing. Excuse me, I got my allergy cold that I get lots of springs. Par, let's say the par is $10 per share, okay? And let's say the market value right now is $100 per share. And what happened was our market value kept going up, and people like to buy more shares, right, that cost less, okay? So we'll do a split, okay? So we decided to do a 10-to-1 split. There's where we're at, right? What is in the account common stock? If this is common stock, let's make it common stock. Wouldn't matter if it's common or preferred, but you don't usually split preferred. You just split common. The market value of the preferred doesn't change so much. So how many dollars are in the common stock account? It's the issued shares times what? $10. It's $4 million, isn't it? Everybody agree? $4 million? That's what it is. Okay, let's do a 10-to-1 split. These are going to be free points, guys. What do we do on this thing? How many authorized now? I get back every single share from everybody, including myself. It's not going to be 1 million anymore. It's going to be 10 times as many. It's 10 million. Got it? No kidding. How many are issued now? I get back all the shares from the shareholders that I've issued them to, including the treasury stock that I'm holding, huh? Right? So for every share, I give them 10 shares. How many are there now? 4 million. What does that make unissued, of course? 6 million. 10 times all of them. What does that make treasury stock? If I get back all 20 from myself and give myself 10 for each one? 200,000. How many are outstanding, obviously? 380 times 10, right? It's 4 million less than 200, right? Treasury stock. So it's 3,800,000. 10 times as many as we did have. Just like that. Okay, what has to happen to the par? We're not going to have a journal entry because we didn't issue anything. We didn't do anything, right? What has it got to be now? $1, 1/10 as much. So reduce it. And that's it. What if I do another 10-to-1 split? I'll have 100 million shares and I'll have 10 cents a share. Got the idea? And could you do it again? Of course you could, right? Keep going. So you'll see par values that are really, really small now. Penny a par, penny, a share par value, because they kept splitting and splitting and splitting. Okay? Anyway, fine. So I've got, what would probably happen, oh, by the way, what is that 4 million issued times $1 per share now? It's still 4 million. What was 400,000 times $10 a share? 4 million. What kind of a journal entry do you need to take an account from 4 million to 4 million? None. No entry. So if you know that, you're going to get points. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Nice, easy check. What do you think will probably happen to the market value? Now remember, lots of things are affecting the market value. What's going on in the economy, what's going on with the company, right? The whim of shareholders that day, investors, it's funny. Okay, so $100 probably will go down to approximately what? $10. I would think so. Company's not any different, huh? So what was the company worth before? It was 380,000 outstanding shares times $100 a share. The company was worth, whatever that is, okay? 38 million, is that what that is? Yeah. That's in the right place. What's the company still worth? 38 million, probably, okay? Got it? Or real close to it, at least. Everybody good with this? That's easy, isn't it? And you read about this by now, right? And that's still not working. Okay, good. Whatever. All right. So let's do dividends where we have preferred stock and common stock. Okay? So let's say we have preferred stock and common stock. Okay? What ways could preferred stock be preferred? What could be some of the characteristics of preferred stock? Well, you could have voting or not. Personally, I don't think not being able to vote is a preference. I think being able to vote is a preference. So this is a disadvantage of preferred stock, really, huh? But it could be voting or not. That won't make any difference in terms of how much dividends they get, okay? But they could vote or not. What is it closer to if they can vote? Similar to common stock. What is it closer to if they can't vote? Similar to debt. Debt holders don't get to vote, right? Okay? How are they preferred? They're preferred, they get their dividends first, don't they? Dividend preference. That's a true preference, right? They get theirs first, and then the common shareholders get theirs. Got the idea? If there's not enough, they get all the dividends, okay? So the common shareholders get dividends after they do. That's basically it, okay? Then also, they're preferred in terms of a liquidation preference. That means if the company goes broke, and they shut down, right? They get their money before the common shareholders get theirs. We talked about that last time, right? Debt holders first, though, employees, government, debt holders. Okay, good. All right. So they've got voting or not, dividend preference, liquidation. What else do we have? It could be cumulative or not. And what that means, if I don't get a dividend in 1 year, the next year I get 2. If I don't get dividends for 5 years, the next year I get 6, right? I get my dividend paid in arrears. We call that dividends in arrears, okay? So what would you rather have, cumulative or not cumulative preferred stock? If I'm a preferred shareholder, what would I want? Cumulative, of course. They're going to get more dividends. What do I want from a common shareholder? I want them to have non-cumulative. What is cumulative closer to? Debt. Non-cumulative is more like equity, isn't it? Okay. All right. And okay, one other thing that the author did not talk about: participating and not participating. And what this means is after the preferred shareholders get their dividend, right, and maybe their dividends in arrears if it's cumulative, then what happens is the common shareholders get a matching dividend of some kind, okay, whatever the agreement, the preferred stock agreement says, okay. They get a matching dividend, and then after that you participate, and you usually participate based on their relative par values, okay, how big their par values are. So this is just to give you another little twist, okay? This preferred stock thing, what we do is you don't want to issue more common stock. Why not? You don't want these new investors to have a vote. You want to run the company yourself. But there are people who want to invest in the company because the company's successful, right? And you don't want to issue debt to them. Why not? Because you have to pay the interest and you have to pay back the principal. With preferred stock, if you don't make any money, you don't have to pay the dividend. And you never have to pay back the preferred shareholders their investment, right? Although there is convertible preferred stock. The authors talk about that too. There's lots of options on these. Convertible preferred stock, what's that? It converts from preferred stock to common stock at their option. There's also callable preferred stock. That means the common shareholders can buy it back, right, if they want to. So you can write anything into these agreements you want. You saw that on the bonds, right? Bonds are sometimes convertible, right? You read about that? Convertible to common stock, right? Okay, or it could be convertible to preferred stock. So you can draw an agreement for anything that you want, huh? By the way, we don't run businesses to fit the accounting. We design accounting to fit business transactions, right? You don't run businesses to make the accountants happy, right? You run businesses to make money, right? Develop economic activity, right? So whatever people come up with, we find a way to account for it. It's kind of a challenge sometimes. They didn't used to be leases, you guys. People invented them, right? All kinds of things. They're new, right? You have to figure out how you're going to do it, okay? How you're going to account for things. Okay, good. So let's say then, we're going to do 4 different combinations, okay? let's say of types of dividends. We're going to do dividends for preferred shareholders and common shareholders where we've got non-cumulative, non-participating, okay? This is not going to be hard at all. So we'll do that one, okay? Then we are going to do cumulative, non-participating. And this is real predictable. Then what do you think we're going to do? How about non-cumulative participating? And then guess what? Cumulative participating. Those are all possibilities, huh? 2 by 2 matrix, there's 4 of them. All right, so let's give this a shot. How's this going to work? Let's say I have 10,000 shares of $100 par preferred stock, and it's a 5% dividend. And what does that mean? Every year they get 5% of the $100 as a dividend, $5. Got it? That's their dividend. If there are dividends, they get the first $5. Okay, and it's per share, so there's 10,000. So what's that? $50,000. Everybody agree? Okay. All right. And then common stock. Let's say there's 900,000 shares. And by the way, these are issued and outstanding. How much treasury stock is there if issued and outstanding is 10,000 and 900? How much treasury stock? If issued and outstanding are the same, how much treasury stock is there? None, right? All the ones you issued are still out there. Okay, good. All right, so these are outstanding. Everybody knows what that means. And let's say these are $1 per share, $1 par. Got the idea? And they don't have a stated dividend of any kind, right? Because they just get whatever we declare. They get whatever we declare less what we give the preferred shareholders. Common shareholders get everything else, huh? Okay? So everybody good? All right. So what we'll say then is the dividend, the first, how much is going to go to the common shareholders? 10,000 shares at how much a share? 5% of 100. Everybody got it? $5. So isn't that $50,000? So the first $50,000 goes to them. Would you guys agree with that? How much goes to common shareholders? We don't know. Whatever's left. Everybody got the idea? Okay. All right. Let's say they have not paid dividends, no dividends, for 3 years. That's called 3 years in arrears. So what that means, and be careful with this when you're reading the problems, sometimes they'll say, sometimes in a problem they'll say 3 years in arrears, including the current year, and sometimes they'll say no dividends have been paid for the past 3 years. Well, if it's for the past 3 years, then how many do you have to pay now? The prior 3 plus the current year, 4, right? What if it's 3 years including the current year? Well, obviously it's just 3, so read carefully, right? Not trying to be tricky, but they're written in both ways. Okay, so just read carefully. So if we say there are no dividends for 3 years in arrears, how many dividends are we going to give if it's cumulative? You're going to give 3 years for the prior years plus 1 for the current year, so it'll be 4 years. So what would that be? If it's cumulative, I guess we'd have to give them 4 times 50,000 or $200,000. Got the idea? Okay, everybody good? Okay, so that's how this thing's going to work. And then if it's participating, the way that you would participate is after the preferred shareholders get their dividends, the common shareholders get a matching dividend. I mentioned that, right? And then after that, you participate. Okay, so let's say our matching is 5 cents per share. How much would that be, 5 cents a share on 900,000 shares? What's that? 45,000. Is it 5 times 9? Is that 45,000? Okay. This is going to be $45,000. But they get no dividends in arrears. There's no such thing. So if it's participating, they're going to get 45,000. And then after that, after you give the preferred shareholders their dividend, and you give the common shareholders their dividend, if there's anything left, how are you going to share? On relative par values. Now, what's the par value of each of these? What's the par value of the preferred stock? 100,000 shares at $100 is how much? How much is that? 10,000 shares at $100. Take 10,000 times 100. What do you get? 1 million bucks? Okay, that's their total par, right? Okay, what's the common stock? 900,000 times a dollar par. 900,000? Okay, decimal in the wrong place. I meant for that to be 9 million. That's okay. We'll leave it there. Okay? So it looks to me like we have more preferred stock than we do common. Kind of funny. It'll screw up our math. Okay, so what's the total par? 1,900,000. Did I put the decimals in the right place on both of those, you guys? 900,000 times a buck, 10,000 shares at 100, right? What's 10,000 times 100? It's a million. Yeah, okay, all right. So what percent is each of the total? If 1,000,009 is the total, what's 1,000,000 divided by 1,000,009? This is 100%, right? Wish the print wasn't quite so big. That's 100%. What's 1,000,000 out of that? 53%. We'll just round it. Okay, so they get 53%. Okay, and what would that be? 47% for the common. Okay. All right. So let's try these. Let's do non-cumulative, non-participating. Now this is going to be very, very simple. What you do is determine what each group gets and figure out what the total is. That's all there is to it. What's the total dividend you're going to pay out? Oh, I didn't pick one, did I? Okay, let's say, what do we got? Let's do $600,000 is going to be my dividend for all of them. $600,000 is my dividend that I declare this year. What if I declare $600,000 in dividends? Who gets what? What do the preferred shareholders get first? If it's non-cumulative, non-participating, so there's no dividends in arrears, they just get their current year, and then common shareholders get everything else. If the total is $600,000, right, how much do the preferred shareholders get? They get theirs first. How much? $5 par, or 5% on a $100 par is $5 a share, right? Times 10,000 shares is 50,000. Or you could say the 1 million total par times 5% is 50,000. It's 50,000, isn't it? So if you give $50,000 to the preferred shareholders, how much do the common shareholders get if you're paying out $600,000? I guess they get $550, don't they? You guys good? That's it. No kidding. I'm going to give you points for being able to do that. Okay? Now then, what's the per share dividend going to be? Could you do that for me? Well, we already know the preferred stock per share dividend is what? $5, isn't it? If you divide $10, because it was $5 a share, wasn't it? Okay? If you divide 10,000 shares into 50,000, guess what you get, of course? The $5 we already knew it was, right? $5 per share. So be able to do that. Okay? What is it going to be for common, though? You'll have to compute that one. $550,000 divided by 900,000 shares, what's that? What's their share? 61 cents per share? All right. That's what you do. Okay? That's how you split it up. Okay? So now let's try, so that's non-cumulative, non-participating. Let's go for cumulative, non-participating. Okay, what happens? First, the preferred shareholders get theirs, then the common shareholders get theirs. It's always that way, and we're going to have the total. So if the total is still 600,000, how are you going to split it up, gang? First, the preferred shareholders get how much? All right, there's 3 years in arrears plus the current year. 4 years at how much per year? 50,000. It's 200 grand, isn't it? They get the first 200,000, just like that. It's going to be easy. Okay, just read carefully. What's left for the common shareholder if it's non-participating? The rest, which is 400,000, just like that. Okay. Another way you could do it is you could say, well, it's $5 a share, right? Times 4 years, so it's $20 per share. Times 10,000 shares is 200,000. That's the preferred stock dividend, isn't it? Okay. Now how do you do per share? Well, I already know it's 20 bucks. Divide 200,000 by 10,000 shares, and what do I have? $20 per share, right, guys? Okay. Common stock, what would it be? 400,000. How many shares was it? 900,000 shares. How much is that? How much? 44? So you can see what happens, of course, is if the preferred stock is cumulative, they get a lot more, right? And the common shareholders get a lot less. If there's dividends in arrears. That's it. Okay? So which would you rather have if you're a preferred shareholder? Cumulative, of course. What would you rather have if you're a common shareholder? Non-cumulative, of course, right? You don't want to give them as much, but you know what? You can sell them the stock for more if it's cumulative. Right? They'll pay more for it. Of course. Have to. Okay? It's all negotiable. It's closer to debt, isn't it? Kind of. They don't lose dividends if years are passed. Okay? All right. Well, assuming you're ever profitable. If you're never profitable, they still don't get the dividend, right? But that's money to give them the dividend. Okay, let's keep going. Now remember, it's $50,000 a year, right? First, for the preferred shareholders, and then for the common, what's going to happen? They'd get a matching dividend of $45,000, wouldn't they? Right? We said 5 cents a share on 900,000 shares, and then we're going to participate after that. Okay? If there's dividends in arrears, right? If it's cumulative, it'll be 50,000 times the 4 years, right? We'll still have 200. So let's give that a shot. It's not a very big deal. Okay? Let's do this. All right. So this time, let's say I still have the $600,000 total, okay? What we're going to do is first we're going to do the preferred shareholders. They get theirs first. Second, the common shareholders are going to get their matching dividend. And then third, we're going to share. Okay? They're going to participate. So do them in order. Okay? First, second, third. So how many dollars go to the preferred shareholders if it's non-cumulative? They get the first 50. That's it. Good. Then what goes to the common shareholders to match it? 45, right? Because we arbitrarily just said that it was, you know, what was it, 900,000 shares at 5 cents a share. Okay? That's what they get. Okay? And by the way, there's no cumulative on the common, right? It doesn't accumulate. Wouldn't make any sense for it to. Okay, so that's 45. So we've done 95,000 out of 600,000, haven't we? What's left? 600 less 95. What's that? 505? This isn't bad at all, is it? So I got 505,000. I want to share that. How am I going to share it? So I'm going to add to these what? What were the percentages we came up with? Remember?
53 and 47.
53 and 47. You guys have written down? Okay, I'll find it yet. There we go. Right, 53% we said, right? There it is. And 47, right? So that's how we're going to split what's left. It's based on their relative par values, remember? Because we had $1 million of preferred stock for total par. That's what's in the preferred stock account, right? And then we have 900,000 that's in the common stock account. So I got $1.9 million. So that's how I'm going to split it, okay? 53-47. So let's do it. So this one's going to be 53%. This one's going to be 47%, which of course is the 100%, right? So 505,000 times 0.53, what do you get? Just round it to even dollar, I guess.
$267,650.
650?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's 47%? The rest.
237,350.
When you do that, make sure you add those two numbers together and get the 505, huh? You just allocated it. Okay, add them up. So what's 50,000 plus 267,650 for preferred stock? What do the preferred shareholders get? 317. Everybody agree? You could do that for me, couldn't you? And then 45 plus 237, 350.
282,350.
All right. Just building your analytical skills a little here, I guess. Add those two together, what do you get? 600,000. Make sure it is, of course, right? You allocated the 600 between the two of them. Okay? All right. Divide by the number of shares, and you'll know how much it was per share. How many shares did we have on the preferred stock? 10,000 shares. So what's 10,000 shares into 317,650?
$31.77.
Yeah. Wow. They did really well, didn't they? Right? They like that participating stuff, especially these relative far values. But remember, they don't have a vote, right? You're sharing profits without them getting to run the company. So common shareholders might like this. What do the common shareholders have? 900,000 shares? But remember, they didn't pay as much for their shares, right? Okay? Probably. We don't know how much the market value was for the shares. We know what par is. So what's 282,350 divided by 900,000?
31 cents.
31 cents. Okay? Ta-da. We got it. Okay? Can you do cumulative participating? Shouldn't be too bad, huh? What would you do with this one? Preferred stock first. Common stock second. Share after that. That's going to come third. Because it's participating, you'll always have that share aspect. Okay? And what do we have here? How much total dividend were we doing? 600,000. How are you going to split it? First, preferred shareholders get what? This time it's cumulative, you guys. So they get 4 years, huh? At 50, 200,000. Excellent. What did the common shareholders get? A matching. What did we say that matching was? 45,000, right? They only get the 1 year, though. There's no cumulative, right? So they get 45. So we have given away 245 now, right, to the shareholders. We haven't written the checks yet. After we figure how much they get per share, we take it times the number of shares the shareholder has, and that's their check, right? Journal entry is going to be what we did last time. It's just going to be debit retained earnings or dividends and credit dividends payable, right? On the date of declaration. On the date of record, we find out who owns the shares, right? And then when we pay it, we debit dividends payable, credit cash. We've been doing that a long time, haven't we? Okay? All right. So what's left? 355, is that right? Okay? So now what would we do? We're going to share it. What were the percentages? 53% and 47%. So multiply them out, write it down, you got it made. What's 355 times 52%?
188,150.
Okay? What's 47%?
166,850.
When you add those two together, what do you get, of course? 355. Nothing to it. Okay? So add them together. So what do we got here? 200 plus 188 is 388, 150. Is that right?
Yeah.
Our little example here. 45 plus 166, 850 is
211,850.
And miraculously, when we add those two together, what do we get down here? 600,000. Always make sure that's true. Just double check your math, right?
Yep.
Everybody good? Got to be the same. Okay. Divided by the number of shares. How many shares were there?
38.
This was 10,000.
The amount of shares, yeah, 10,000.
Which is
That's 38.
$38.81, 82 cents, whatever, right? Of course, you use the real decimal, the calculated times their number of shares. Okay, that's per share. And then This is 900,000 shares, the common, so what does that give me? 24 cents per share. Ta-da. We can do it, huh? All right, let's change this to be, what if we only have, let's do 150,000 in dividend instead. What if instead our dividends are only 150? Can you change these? This should be really quick. Nothing to it. You change this thing, you guys? Let's walk through that. So what's going to change? It's at 150 now instead of 600. What changes? Total changes, right? Is it going to change what you give the preferred shareholders? No, not unless they have more than 150, kind of, right? Do they get their money first? Yeah. So this is going to be real simple. There's nothing to it. So let's do the first one, non-cumulative, non-participating. What would happen? What are you going to give them? Preferred. Yeah, preferred, what do they get? The first 50. What are you going to give the common shareholders? The other 100. Everybody agree? Just like that. Okay? That would be the first one. It's always they get the first 50 and everything else goes to common. What if there's only 25,000 dividends you declare? They get the whole 25. By the way, if they only got 25, are they going to get the other 25 later? Nope, it's non-cumulative. What if they get nothing? They don't get the money later, right? It's gone. Okay, how about if we're cumulative? Let's switch to cumulative. Where will the 150 go, seeing as they have 200 coming? Preferred shareholders get the entire 150. Right, guys? How much do common shareholders get? Nothing. Now, what's the case, though, the next year? You only paid them 3 years dividends, 150. They keep the other 50 to go roll into the next year, right? They'd still have one in arrears, right? Because they're supposed to get 4 years. They still have one in a year, so in arrears. So the next year they get the first what? 100, right? 50 for the current year and 50 for the prior year. Got it? Obviously, you'd rather have cumulative if you're a preferred shareholder. Okay? All right, so that's how that one would work, huh? So just relax. If I give you some number and, oh, geez, the common shareholders never get anything, well, yeah, that can happen easy. Okay? Depending on where you're at. Okay, so then let's try the participating ones. You're not going to believe this. How about if it's cumulative non-participating? Where does 150 go? All preferred shareholders, and what do the common get? 0. They don't get the matching dividend, and there's no participating. Got it? Oh. How about if it's non-cumulative participating? That one will be a little tougher. What would we do? Maybe we'll actually work that one out, huh? What would non-cumulative participating look like?
50, 45, I think I have an extra,
Yeah, you'd have 50, right, for the preferred. You'd have 45 for the common. That would be 95, and what would you have left?
55.
55, and how would you split it? 53%, 47. Maybe we'll work that one out.
How did you come with the 45,000 again?
Okay, good. Go back and look at that. Let's go down and look at it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, where do we get the 45? I arbitrarily said they get a matching dividend of 5 cents a share, and there were 900,000 shares. So whatever it says their matching dividend is, that's in the preferred stock agreement, right? So in the preferred stock agreement, it says it's $100 par, 5% dividend, which should tell you they get $5 per share every year, right? It'll tell you whether it's cumulative or non-cumulative. It'll tell you whether it's participating or non-participating. Got the idea? So I'll tell you the problem, what it is. Okay? And then if it is participating, they have to have some sort of a matching for the common shares. So they got 5 cents a share on 900,000 shares for 45,000. I just made it up. Okay? Got it? So that's what they get to match the preferred shareholders' dividends before they participate. And then I said we participate based on relative par values, which is pretty common to do it that way. You can do it any way you want, right? You can make it arbitrary, okay? It is arbitrary anyway. So it's whatever you agree to. So the relative par values were 10,000 times $100 par, right, is $1 million. And 900,000 times $1 par is 900,000. Everybody agree? So it's $1.9 million total, and we divided $1.9 million into $1 million and got 53%, and we took 900 divided by $1.9 million and got 47%. That clear everything up for everybody? Right? Reinforce? Okay, cool. And so let's try doing that. Oh, let's do the last one. Let's think about the last one, and then we'll work non-cumulative participating. If it's cumulative participating, where would the 150,000 go? All preferred, and we're done, right? So those would be easy, right? But you'd have to do a little computing for non-cumulative participating. So let's do that, and then we'll get out of here. Okay? How is that one gonna look? Let's do non-cumulative participating when we have 150,000 dividends, okay? Preferred shareholders first get how much? 50,000 we said, right? No dividends or arrears. Common shareholders second get their matching dividend. How much do we say that was? Okay. Third, they're going to share, right? What's our total going to be? We decided 150. I decided, I guess. How much are you going to share? 55? Okay. How do you want to share it? How much goes to preferred shareholders? 53%. How much goes to common shareholders? 47%. That's going to be 100%. It's amazing. Okay, so 55 times 53% is how much? 29,150. Fantastic. And then what are we going to get for 55,000 times 47% for the common shareholders?
25,000.
Okay, so we'd add those two together. What do you have in total for the preferred then? 50 plus 29 is 79,150. A little fun with math. 45 plus 25, 850 is what? 70,850, is that what that is? What do those two add up to, of course? 150, right guys? What is it per share? Divide in, how many shares did we have? I can't remember. There they are. 10,000 shares on the preferred stock, right? Which is what? 10,000 divided into 79,000 is how much?
7.9.
$7.91, 92 cents
Yeah.
per share. Okay, and then 70,000 divided by 900,000 shares. It's going to be pennies, of course. Okay. Now, again, don't think that that's small. It depends on how much you paid for the stock, right? If I get a stock $1 a share, if I get a stock for $100 a share, it's kind of different, huh? Right? Okay. All right. How much is that per share? 8 cents. All right. Everybody good? Leaving early. See you guys. Work.
See you for
See you at 3. We'll do bonds probably most of the time at the review, I betcha. Right? Crank through another one. Make sure you practice. That's the biggest thing, guys. Just practice. I don't have them with you. You have a class after this?
Can I get it from you on Wednesday?
Only if I remember to bring it. I can run downstairs. It's downstairs in my cabin. If you want to run downstairs with me, I'll get it for you. Okay. So, you got it.
See you.
See you later.